So this is question number 3, and I'm going to actually start with part B instead of part A because it turns out to be the quicker and simpler of the two. And so writing down the axis, the equation for the axis of symmetry, and you know that like the axis of symmetry is, sorry, let's get that going, is basically this line that cuts it in half. And so that's got to be halfway between 3 and 5, so 4. And I'm just going to write this up over here. It's part B. The equation for the axis of symmetry is always x equal, because we're talking about the x-axis where it's equal, and it equals 4. And 1 mark for writing the x, and then 1 mark for writing the correct number 4. So there's part B, and you're going to see that part B actually connects to A, which may be why they put them in reverse order, just to try to make it a little more challenging for you. But switch over here. So for part A, we're going to have, I'm going to move this up now. I'm going to take 2 approaches to part A. One is, so yes, that the axis of symmetry, x equals negative b over 2a. That's in the formula booklet for the axis of symmetry. And since we know that that's 4 here, then I can say that 4 equals negative b over 2a, and so 8a is negative b, sorry about the writing here, and just I'm going to actually make b the positive, so negative 8a equals b. And then from there I'm going to go back up to our equation here and use one of these points, and I'll use the point 3, 0 to say that 0 equals a times 3 squared plus, now is where instead of b I'm going to put in the negative 8a, and for the moment I'll put brackets around that, times 3 plus 30. So now what we have is 9a minus, and 8 times 3, 24a equals, plus 30. This is negative 15. So writing plus or equals there, sorry. And let me move that over. So 15a equals 30. A equals 2. And now because we know A, we can go back over here that B is negative 8 times A, so negative 16. And then they want you to find it in this form, just to say y equals 2a, 2x squared, that's a is 2, minus 16x plus 30. So there's one approach to doing this using the axis of symmetry. Another way to look at this is, I'm not sure why all that hasn't disappeared, is that these points here are roots. And what that means is that y equals, now a is always, it's like the, I want to say, it's the coefficient that either makes this stretch in or stretch out, and which is a. And so, but we do know that we have these roots of 3 and 5, and because they're positive, then we would say in parentheses they're negative. And again, because I know these two roots, I know how this factorizes. But there is the coefficient of a, which determines whether it's wide or narrow. Now, from this point, again, we know that 0, 30 is a point. I'm actually going to, well, again, do this a few ways. So we have that 30 y equals, and it's a 0 for x, so -3 times -5, and so 30 equals 15. Two negatives make positive a, so a equals 2. And then from there we can come back up here and substitute in 2 for a, but let me just make this different color so you can see kind of what I've done. I'm also going to look at this as y equals a and multiply out my two parentheses, so I have x squared. Minus 3x and minus 5x makes minus 8x, and minus 3 times minus 5 plus 15. And now we know a is 2. Sorry, that should be squared up there. And again, we get 2x squared minus 16x plus 30. And there we get the same equation. A is 2, B is -16.